Well, I always wanted to serve the Lord and love Him with all my heart. And so my way of doing that, I thought, I would love to be in ministry. I loved writing songs ever since I was little. And I thought, what can I do to write songs? I could maybe work in a church and I could write songs and do music. It was in the wintertime. I went for a walk outside, and it was cold, it was snowy, and I just felt like curling up in the snow and going to sleep. Just that low energy and thinking, okay, maybe I should go to the doctor, not really. She took a blood test, and she called me on the phone and said, get to the hospital right away. You probably have leukemia. At that moment, people have the choice whether they could shake their fist at God and say, why? How could you do this to me? Why? How could you take away all these things from me? Or you have the opportunity to run to God. My husband and I were together, and so we just hugged each other and cried a bit. But the first words I said were the words of Job, though he slay me, yet I will trust him. At one point, the doctors kind of threw up their hands and went, we don't know what's going on here. We're not sure why all of this pain is happening. We're not sure what we can do to change it. And so there was one point that the doctors told my husband that I would have 3 days to live. They said, we don't know if this is going to turn around. Call the family. We're not sure if she's going to make it. I wasn't prepared for the emotional side of things too, because they prepared me really well for all the physical symptoms, but just emotionally but it never crossed my mind that I might die. Step by step, kind of through the journey, there was times that I was in so much pain in my back for different things, or just different pain, and we would pray, and I'd feel it would get a little better. So they said, you need a bone marrow transplant. Do you have any siblings? No. So they said, well, unrelated donor at the time was a 1 in 20,000 chance of finding a match. From the day in the hospital when I'm trusting God, I remember just kneeling at my hospital bed that night, and I'm all by myself. And it's evening, it's dark, and I just remember kneeling and raising my hands up to the Lord and saying, Father, I just want to worship you with all my heart. All of this other stuff I don't care about. I just want to know you. I just want to love you. I felt His peace in such an amazing way. I will never forget that, just almost like, and I can breathe again. I was like, okay, thank you, Lord, that you're walking me through. There was a man that was praying for me at the same time, and it was just by telephone. He wasn't even there. And he said, no, I feel like God's telling me that in 3 days she's going to start to get better. And that's actually what happened. In 3 days was when I started to sit up. I like to say God had an answer. He had a bone marrow donor that had signed up on the Red Cross International Registry before that, and he was a perfect match. My donor's name is Andy. He lives in England. He's a computer teacher at a low-income school, and his wife is a special needs worker, and they're just kind-hearted people, and I think it's very unassuming. How do you say thank you to somebody who saves your life? Though you walk through darkness, though you walk through shadow, you're never alone. The God who made the universe knows your name. The love that made the roses bloom unfolds your dreams, and He sees every fear in your eyes. You're never alone.